A tsunami of rumors and speculation hit the coaster community after last week's announcement by Caudaland that they will be receiving a new generation Vekoma roller coaster. This is not just any new Vekoma. This is the first modern Vekoma coming to North America, and it's a tilt coaster. This is a huge deal because these new Gen Vekoma models look super fun, but also more affordable for parks. The layout of this model was also revealed, and it looks absolutely incredible, not to mention the insane tilt aspect. The second I saw this concept revealed, I thought Six Flags' name was all over it. There are so many reasons I feel Six Flags is the absolute perfect contender for the next Vekoma tilt coaster. And what better park to add their tilt coaster to than their flagship, Six Flags Magic Mountain. In today's video, I'll be analyzing the future of the tilt coaster and Vekoma in general in the United States, and I'll share my thoughts as to why I'm so confident that Magic Mountain will be getting one of these attractions in the near future. If you like this kind of content, please consider subscribing. I'd really appreciate it. Let's dive in. Six Flags Magic Mountain has been on a roll, adding West Coast Racers in 2020 and now Wonder Woman in 2022. This is crazy and absolutely not normal. With the new CEO, it is really hard to predict what exactly will happen, as he might be looking to change up the business strategy of the company. But either way, it's a win-win for Magic Mountain. Let me explain. Based on some of his recent decisions, like more expensive season passes, the new CEO, Salim Basoul, seems to be focusing on a higher quality product that's also more expensive. This is much more like the Cedar Fair business model, where investments are larger but less frequent. Or he could be staying with the current business model of adding mid-sized coasters every few years to their major parks like Magic Mountain. Let's say he decides to make Magic Mountain wait until 2026 or later to get a new coaster. I'm talking major, like a Giga. That would be the Cedar Fair way, but that's good. More likely, come 2025, the park will be looking for their next coaster. Mid-sized, but it has to break some kind of record for marketing purposes. Enter the Tilt Coaster. This is a mid-sized attraction that is very new, so any kind of height or speed record essentially means nothing, but it would be super easy to achieve. Imagine something like what they did with Jersey Devil and now Wonder Woman. A new model that has easy records to beat and then just cloned it around slightly taller. Six Flags could do that exact thing with Magic Mountain, Great Adventure, and Great America, as they're all far apart from each other, and from Caudaland, so there's nothing like it in the area. Plus, these tilt coasters are literally the definition of a GP magnet. Like, the parks could have a field day marketing this thing. Also, based on the current layout given by Vekoma, this thing doesn't look super large, so it'd probably fit on a small plot of land. Compact, affordable, marketable, absolutely insane looking. What else could Six Flags want? In the title of this video, I said why Magic Mountain will get a tilt coaster, and it will for all the reasons I just mentioned. But I didn't say it'd be the first. Nope, I think Great America will be the first. They opened Max Force in 2018, which is 4 years ago, and that is the longest coaster gap of Six Flags' Big Three, with Magic Mountain getting Wonder Woman and Jersey Devil opening last year. I think the tilt coaster will make its way through the Big Three, and I would say Fiesta Texas would get one, but it's just too close to Caudaland. On a side note, this would be the perfect next coaster for Cedar Point. World's first hyper tilt coaster. Could you imagine? I just see that as much more likely than some option like GTI or whatever. However, I still maintain Cedar Point will add an 11 inversion Gerstlauer with a 122-degree drop in 2023. Anyway, Magic Mountain will definitely get one of these down the line. Let's go more general now. Other parks and other Vekomas. Where does Vekoma go from here? This is a good question, and quite a difficult one to answer, but I'm less optimistic than others. S&S Sansei, the parent company of Vekoma, has not let them do any work in the United States until now. Here's my theory. Vekoma has the tilt coaster technology and experience, and if a park in the US requests some kind of coaster that S&S themselves is unable to produce, I think that S&S would rather have Vekoma do it than drop the project altogether. This would explain why Vekoma is building a tilt coaster. This is a unique model that S&S cannot produce. Look at Max Force, for example. Vekoma is a proven launch coaster manufacturer, but S&S was able to do the job, so they did it. My point is Vekoma is like a backup. They'll only do what S&S can't do. This would explain why all of a sudden S&S is allowing Vekoma to do business in North America. Of course, I have no way of knowing if this is correct, but this seems to make a lot of sense. For this reason, I don't think we'll see these Vekoma launch coasters that everyone is drooling over. S&S can make the product, so why have Vekoma do it? Simple answer, they won't. If a park in the US wants a launch coaster, they don't care if S&S or Vekoma makes it. They just want it to be reliable, affordable, and marketable. So S&S would make it. I don't want to sound too pessimistic though. I think the future of the tilt coaster model itself could not be brighter. This is an incredible concept, and if proven reliable, could be completely revolutionary and open a whole new type of roller coaster. Imagine a tilting invert or flyer. That's insane. So many easy records to be broken with these, so many parks to order these, and I cannot be more ready. Hopefully Vekoma is able to come up with some more new concepts so that they can continue work in the United States. Or maybe this is just the start of the Vekoma revolution. Let me know in the comments. And as always, thanks for watching, and I'd really appreciate it if you click that subscribe button. See you guys in the next one.